A general tip for most indie authors is to not make your own book covers because you're likely to try to throw in way too many elements where it's super cluttered, but if someone's read the book, it definitely goes with the story. And so you can create something that looks great, but that's not that marketable and not going to resonate with readers. That is always a risk. But there are some cases where it's like, okay, is this the best cover in the world? Probably not. Is there something that could be better to market my book? Yes, but you have a concept and you have a big series and you don't have the budget to afford a bunch of covers and also don't want to be using AI generated art. So you decide you are going to make your own cover. You might as well go out and be super quirky, and that is what I've been doing with the Ghostly Games series. My brilliant co-author, B.L. Kohler, came up with the concept of using doodles because we are going to be doing a 26 book series. Now, these books are novella size, so like we're not that crazy, but it is going to be a big series, and we needed something conceptually that would work across 26 very different stories, but that are all set within the same world and have a rotating cast of the same characters within it. It is a paranormal, kind of like contemporary fantasy, gothic horror, ghosty goos, all of those sorts of things with romance throughout with characters, but there's also some of the stories that are very contemporary and there's just references to supernatural things, or there's no supernatural elements at all, but if you know the characters, then you know that they're like in a haunted house and all this other kind of stuff. So I went with her doodle thing. We iterated a couple of times. Usually it takes me about 6 different versions of making a self-made cover before I find one that actually lands and that I think is cute and I'm proud to show off, even though I made it and you could probably tell that it's a self-made cover. So I'm going to show you that. So this is Ghostly Games, which is going to be the second book that has come out in this series. And I did a lot of quirky little things with it. So all of the books in the series, the thing that's going to be similar is that it will have the black background, then it will have some sort of like doodle type imagery. Some of the doodles are fine line, some are a little more evolved like this, but they definitely all go together. I'm using like bright rainbow covers. These are also LGBT books with characters, so having a rainbow type aesthetic just made even more sense, even though me as an author always wants a rainbow aesthetic in general. This is like the tiniest spine that you can get on a book. It's 118 pages, so I barely got to do a spine. It had to be this small, but you're going to get the quirky little symbols that go with the individual story, so these will change for every book. So this one has a little bitty ghost, and the story is Ghostly Games, and then Becton Snow. Then you got my teeny tiny publishing icon there. I do have a registered publishing business, Unicorn Nightporium LLC. I included this little thing because some readers want a rating for a book, and the easiest one is to kind of go off of what it would be categorized in a film, and this one would definitely be R or even X-rated if they, depending on how they decided to film some of the scenes. I also wanted the spine it to be easy for you to see what letter it is in the series, and this one is G for Ghostly Games. All of the titles are going to be where it has the same letter. We are not releasing them in alphabetical order, but if you wanted to arrange them that way on your shelf, that's why I've included the G up here instead of a number, because this is not a numbered series. You can read them in any order. All of them are going to be standalones, but there's definitely things that cross over because the characters are the same, but you can order them on your shelf however you want. It also has the same color on the spine as the color that's inside the letters, keeping that aesthetic, and the color is chosen either based off of the image, so in this case I used this color for the camera, or in reverse, I pick the color first and then I find the doodle and change it to the same color, so everything aesthetically goes together. Then the same color is used for here. And then, of course, the white. I've got a black overlay little box going on behind it so that everything stands out for the blurb. Then I did something unique that I've never seen anyone do on a book, but these are kind of like signed special editions, but they're digitally signed. So here's my author signature and here is my co-author signature. This is something that we did because I'm living in Kentucky and she's all the way in New Jersey. So books with both of our signatures on it is just not going to happen. If I see someone in an in-person event that buys my book, I will sign my name, but they'll still have the co-authors digitally on there. So yeah, that's kind of like all the quirky little elements that I included in the book cover. And just to show you the thing, so this one you might think, all right, well that's not like super cool, but when you see them all together, it becomes more aesthetic. So we have these bright colors. This is the book that's already out, Tricky Tarot. You can get it everywhere. Books are sold. It is even on Hoopla right now. But so you go from orange, and then our upcoming release is going to be Ghostly Games, which you can see right here. And then the next one's going to be Vital Vacation, and the next one is going to be Haunted Hearts. So like you saw, lots of colors. The order that we release them in, the publication order, I am trying to make sure that the gradients look really cool, so that can even determine the order of release at times. But yeah, so you can arrange them in rainbow order. You can do them in publication order, or you can do them in alphabetical order on your shelf. What do you think of my cover design? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you hate it, I don't care because I think they're adorable and I'm keeping them. But yeah, I did my own covers for this series. I took Britt's concept and then I did this.